and Stefan from Mekify here at Ideon. We sit up in Gateway and we work with agile methodologies. So for startup, that means how can you build structures in the company but still stay innovative. Or for larger companies, we teach managers to keep out of the way of the engineers, more or less. So 3 years ago, I were in the planning. And that planning, there were a rumor that there were a flu somewhere in China. Then suddenly something happened and everybody ended up here. Does this look familiar to you? Yeah. So for me this was a big change. And I was starting to think, how can you Let's try this. What's going on? All right. All right. So how can we, when we do Agile, we want to have strong teams like this. We stand together side by side. How can we achieve this when we are part at work, part at home? Well, nobody knew. But now the researchers start coming in. So, first, good news everyone! Productivity goes up with the mixed environment. There are a few studies that show a slight decrease. All those studies are from specific companies, but all the big studies shows productivity goes up between 7 and 44%. But innovation is going down. And that I've heard here at Ideon as well. Companies say the number of patents have decreased the last 2 years. I don't know if that's sound familiar from your companies, but I know of a few here connected to Ideon where that is the reality. And that seems to be worldwide as well. So, let's listen to a few voices from these past 2 years. Listen up! We need a company-wide work-from-home policy. So, have you seen the movie Gladiator? I want you to participate now. So, if this is something you have heard, I want you to take thumbs up, never heard, sometimes, and thumbs down if you never have seen anyone talk about that we need a company policy for working from home. All right? Thumbs up. Most of you. Okay? Do you think this is a good idea to have a company-wide policy? Thumbs up. No. Disagree. What do you say? Put up your thumbs. Most of you agrees. Well, this is wrong. We know that now. There were a big study in the US. They looked at happiness among people versus how many days they spend at home. And they saw a bit weird stuff in their data. What they actually saw was companies where you could decide what days you are home and on site showed increased happiness. But companies that had decided certain days for you showed no increase in happiness. Harvard Business Review did a study and 9,000 people got deeply interviewed and they figured out that it's not the flexibility you really want and makes you happy. You think it's because the lift puzzle is easier to manage. No, it's not. Not at all. What you want is autonomy. So COVID suddenly gave us the opportunity to take a bit of power back from the company to ourselves. And that is very motivating, we know by now. All right, let's plan. When we are on site, let's have meetings. We hate these digital meetings. Something you have heard? Thumbs up? Never? What do you say? Yes? Do you think this is a good idea to have meetings on site instead of digital? Thumbs up? Well, this is wrong. Yes. I did this mistake. Took me several months to figure out. But what we really want those days we are together on site is to be social. If you do deep interviews, that is what you figure out. That is what we want to do. That is what makes us happy. That's what makes us, gives us energy. Digital meetings is something we can learn. Coffee talk digitally, much, much harder. Especially talking about innovation, where the networks, how people communicate in an innovative environment is much closer to how you talk around a coffee machine than in a meeting set. All right, I have no problems with this. I can separate my personal life and my work life, even if I'm working from home. Is this something you have heard? Have heard it? Yes? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think you can do this? No. You can't. You can't. If you work in a hybrid environment, things happen around you. Suddenly there's someone screaming in the background and the person turns off the camera. Well, now it's much easier for you to know if the person, if it's just something happening or there's a person home that's sick. Because now you can start thinking, okay, is this person coming back or not? Are the kids home or not? Do they live in an environment where they only have one office and have to share that with their spouse as well? We don't know. What has been shown is that if we get to know each other personally, it's much easier to have these hybrid meetings. Much, much easier. And by research, the best way to achieve this is to start open yourself up. Not everyone likes to do this. They want to keep work here, personal here, and I totally respect that. But the fastest way and the only way we know now for sure works in building an environment where people start opening up is to start doing that yourself. That's something for you to think about. If you want to build a strong, innovative group, start by opening up yourself, if you dare to do that. So, to summarize, 3 things I want you to take with you. To look at the human needs. We want the autonomy more than the flexibility. Talk with the people around you. How do we want to work together? Not how does the company work together. How does we as an individual, as humans, feel the best? I will give you, I know I'm in Ideon, so I have my references sorted out. They will come afterwards. So. The second thing, think about the structure and what kind of work you do on site and from home. There's actually a great framework to assess this. So, and this is fluent depending on what kind of work you do that week. So it's really hard to have a certain number of days. That framework is called Kineri, and it's impossible to spell. I've written it there. If there's something that's interesting to you, how to have a framework to assess what kind of work can I do at home and on site, talk to the Ideon people here. Kristina, and say, oh, let's this Stefan guy. He had something more interesting to say. Maybe he can come back this spring. I don't know. And build connections, personal connection. Understand each other's personal circumstances. I had a few months in, I said to Italian guy, I haven't seen him on camera for a few months. I was saying, Marco, can you please turn on your camera when we have the meeting? It's much easier for us. Well, Stefan, he said, we are 5 people working from home in a 2-bedroom apartment with a copper internet connection. Okay, sorry. Sorry, man. It was my fault. I didn't think. Understand each other's personal circumstances and build connections. That works. All right, all the references here. I will be around the Canadian poster if you have questions you want to ask me in person.